of all the selfish, narcissistic things that Trump has done, attending MSG to see the Knicks play in person on Monday is the absolute worst. And it seems as though she agrees with Stephen A. Smith, who said this on ESPN this morning. Watch.
This president has no business showing up in New York City. I am dead serious.
Donald Trump is once again at the center of attention. His appearance at the NBA Finals is creating extra security concerns and frustration for some fans. We'll take a look at what Casey Hunt and her CNN panel had to say, and I'll share my thoughts as well. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Let's get into it.
Right now, a 5-block radius surrounding Madison Square Garden is virtually on lockdown ahead of Game 3 of the NBA Finals tonight. The area closed at 4 p.m. Eastern, with tip-off not scheduled until 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. President Trump's attendance is historical. He'll be the first sitting president to attend an NBA Finals game. But that means security has been heightened, and watch parties surrounding MSG, the mecca of basketball, have been canceled. CNN's Mark Morales is outside the Garden. Mark, what is going on there? These tickets were already so unaffordable. People expecting to, be outside having watch parties, now disappointed too.
Right, and it's really interesting over the last couple of hours because before this was an energetic crowd that was just kind of walking around here while we had security, but the closer we get to tip-off, the more you get this sort of rabid excitement that you're getting from fans, but at the same time, you're also getting this tightening of security. So if we can show you just a little bit of what we're talking about here, you'll see these barricades behind me. These are designed so that people can't climb up. You'll also see these white blocker cements on the bottom, so that's to prevent from vehicles to sort of do any sort of ramming attacks. And what we saw at 4 o'clock is these metal barricades. These metal barricades have gone up, and now they're not letting people cross to the next street. So this lockdown is actually is really taking shape now. And if you look over into the distance, you'll see these sanitation trucks. Those are there to also prevent from ramming attacks, as we've seen in other terrorist incidents. So this is all part of the posture that's been put together by the Secret Service and the NYPD to really put everything on lockdown. And as we get closer to tip-off, this is going to get tighter and tighter. Now, one of the ramifications of such a security plan means this very popular watch party that was right outside of Madison Square Garden can't take place today. And that's because it would be a massive security risk for the president to be here while that's going on. So we talked to some fans, and they have some feelings about it, because for those of you who couldn't afford to get into Madison Square Garden and pay those ticket prices, you at least had that. You could be that close to the Garden. But some of the fans are a little disappointed. Take a listen.
I think people should still come out. I don't really think Trump should even be here, to be honest with you. He doesn't really claim himself as a New Yorker.
We've been waiting for this for like how long? And, a lot of people can't afford to get into the game. I'm one of those people. So I was actually looking forward to going to one of these watch parties, and now I can't.
He doesn't live here, and he's kind of pooped on us for a while. And, so I think this is our time, and he's distracting from our time.
We've even seen TSA is here ready to do bag checks. And again, they're saying no bags at all, and arrive 2 hours before tip-off so you can get into the game. Casey?
Sure. All right, Mark Morales, outside MSG. Thank you, Mark, for that. Is anyone here a New Yorker? No, we don't have any New Yorkers. Okay, well, they wouldn't give you credit for that, I don't think. But I mean, David Chalian, you cannot overstate what this, with the Knicks being their first hometown final in 27 years, means. And I mean, the criticism of the president. I mean, look, let's put up Ian Coulter. Of all the selfish, narcissistic things that Trump has done, attending MSG to see the Knicks play in person on Monday is the absolute worst. And it seems as though she agrees with Stephen A. Smith, who said this.
I don't often agree.
ESPN this morning. Watch.
This president has no business showing up in New York City. I am dead serious. It is selfish. It is narcissistic. It is ridiculous that he is coming to this game. I would say the same thing if it were Obama, George W., Clinton. I don't give a damn. We went back to Reagan. This is not a football stadium in some space in Texas where you got a whole bunch of outlays and all of this. This is the Garden. This is Midtown Manhattan.
I would tune in for that.
What say you?
I don't find it so offensive. I think it's totally okay for a president to go to a big sporting event. I get it causes complications and a headache, and it is the right of every New Yorker to complain against that. That is quintessentially New York. But, I mean, who's more of a New Yorker president than Donald Trump? I know he has rejected his citizenship there and has moved to Florida, but the guy has a tower called Trump Tower up on Fifth Avenue. He's from Queens. He is a New York character and has been for decades. It's not like out of the realm that he would want to go to Madison Square Garden and be part of the action.
Let's watch a little bit of, this is not the first time that President Trump has interacted with the NBA. Back when he was a New Yorker, a couple things stood out to us. Watch.
It's your good friend Donald Trump.
Donald,
yes,
my business partner.
What does it say, walk on?
I love this game, and if you don't, you are fired.
Congressman, what do you think?
You can take the man out of New York, you cannot take New York out of the man. And this is, this president loves sports, loves these national events, they get attention. I think our attention will be on the crowd reaction. And if these folks have to show up without bags, with nothing to do for a couple hours before the game, this is going to be a lit crowd in every sense of the word. It will be fascinating to see what happens tonight before we have the big match on the president's lawn or the White House lawn on Friday.
Well,
Donald Trump can enjoy sports all he wants, but he's not the one dealing with the disruption. Fans who paid for tickets are the ones facing longer lines, tighter security, and major delays just to get into the game. On top of that, watch parties are being canceled, leaving many people frustrated. Some critics argue this creates the perfect opportunity for a large public protest, with sports fans and opponents alike making their voices heard. They say no modern president has caused this level of inconvenience for a personal appearance. To them, it's another example of what they view as Trump's self-centered leadership style. What do you think? Drop your opinion in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. It really helps the channel grow.
The other reality here too, right, is that this game was already, I mean, look at the front row of like the semifinals, Knicks games. I mean, you recognized every face in that row. I mean, the celebrity star power, are they all, I guess they're all going to have to go through TSA.
They're going to have to do it too, be like the rest of us. There are a lot of things I will criticize President Trump for. Going to a sporting event is not one of those things. But what I will say is if we can get the president into Madison Square Garden safely, protect him, protect those around him, I do have real problems with this ballroom vanity project where we're going to spend billions of dollars for a couple of events. So if we can send him to the Super Bowl, to Madison Square, which we can and we should, I'm fine with that. But I think it underscores some of the other issues that have been raised.
On message. I give you a shout out for that. Bring it back.
This was Whoopi Goldberg, actually, in terms of, you know, we've got Ann Coulter criticizing the president for this. Here was Whoopi Goldberg defending Donald Trump today. Watch.
Trump and Mayor Mamdani are Knicks fans and have been. They're New Yorkers. And you can't, there's nothing either one of them can do to change what's happening in the city for this team. Mm-hmm. They can't, you know, they're there. Okay, so there's a lot
jinx
of,
us?
there's a lot
No,
you know what? I don't think anything can jinx anything. I think these guys are on a mission.
I mean, I don't know. There's almost like a risk if he goes and they lose that
right. People are going to absolutely blame it on him. No, I think, look, anything that Trump touches turns political. That's why we're talking about it. That's why so many people are opining on this one moment. I will say another New Yorker is making a scene about this on Capitol Hill. Hakeem Jeffries came out at his press conference just wearing a very, very, very light blue and light pink hat matching outfit. It was quite a scene to see. And he was just like, look, we haven't had the Knicks in the final in almost 30 years. I think he said almost verbatim, why does Trump have to ruin something so good?
So wait a second. Why is Hakeem Jeffries not going?
There's votes at 6:30 p.m. tonight.
And by the way, you got to
Maybe
write
he
your own
can't
check.
get in.
You got to write your own check for those seats. That's not a giftable thing.
Oh.
So come up, yeah, what's the cheapest seat? $10,000 or something like that now. So good luck.
I mean, so that, to me, that does seem, David Chalian, like, if there's political risk in this, right? It's just, I mean, and, you know, he doesn't have to win an election in New York, so I guess what does it really matter? But it's like, the Trump people in New York that are already having a hard time getting these tickets, right? It's like the firefighters and the policemen in Queens, and like they were all supposed to have parties around the garden, be part of the celebration if they were to win tonight. Yep. And that whole thing is going to be changed because of what the president's doing.
Yes, no doubt. And to Patrick's point about, you know, the anticipated booing that we will hear, I think we're also going to have to suffer through a news cycle where the president's going to try to convince us that it wasn't booing and that he was actually, like it was a sea of love for him in the garden when it wasn't. So we're going to have to go through the motions of this. Let's just focus on the game. Let's hope the Knicks win and move forward from there.
Yeah, I mean, he should just be glad that he's, you know, from New York and it's a Knicks situation and it's not the Sixers in Philly, because let me tell you.
If this were the worst thing Donald Trump had done as president, we'd be extremely fortunate. Compared to many other controversies, this barely scratches the surface. Still, critics argue that it reflects a pattern they see in Trump, a leader who puts his own interests first, even when it creates inconvenience for everyone else. Some hope New Yorkers will turn out in large numbers to voice their opinions and make their feelings known. But what do you think? Is this being blown out of proportion, as many commentators suggest? Or should Trump have allowed fans and the city to enjoy the event without the extra disruptions and security concerns? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with others. Your support helps the channel grow and keeps these conversations going.